Good morning, guys, and welcome to my kitchen. I am Food by Faith Garden to Table, your Zone 8A Georgia gardener. And today we are going to be making a very unique chocolate cake. So, for those of you who have watched some of my videos as of late, I have been doing a yeast and sourdough series where I have been making different raised yeast breads as well as breads using sourdough starter. Well, this recipe that we are going to be making today is going to do just that. We are using some of our sourdough starter and making a chocolate cake. So with the different ingredients, because I know that some of you may be thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to have a sour flavor versus a luxurious chocolate velvety flavor. That's not true. The sourdough in this recipe will help the cake to rise, but it will not give off a very sour flavor as the other ingredients will simmer that down. So what we did this morning was, in this bowl I have the flour that goes in the recipe. I have 1 cup of sourdough starter, and this is, you can use the discard or you can use your fed starter. So yesterday I fed my starter. I took 1 cup of it off, and then of course I took some more off to give away, but I took 1 cup off for this recipe, and then the milk that goes into the recipe is in here as well. So in here we have sourdough starter, we have flour, and we have our milk, flour, and sourdough starter. And I actually let it sit on my counter. It's been about 3 hours. And now we are going to get the rest of our ingredients to make our cake. So I've already pretty much measured out the other ingredients that we need. So we have salt, we're gonna put some espresso powder in this recipe, and coffee brings out the flavor of chocolate. We have some baking soda, and then of course we have sugar. To that we are going to add 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. As well as 1 cup of oil. And as you mix this up, it's going to look a little grainy, and that's fine. Once you begin to put everything together, everything will begin to smooth out. Once we add our oil, then we are going to add a teaspoon of our homemade vanilla. And so for me, I consider my homemade vanilla to be double strength, simply because I do not add any water to it. It is literally the vanilla bean pods and the alcohol, and I let it sit for a minimum of 6 months before I use it at all. But I have some that I have been letting rest for almost 2 years now. I'm gonna let this mix up for just a little bit, and then we're gonna add our eggs one at a time. We already have our oven preheated to 350 degrees, and the pan that we're going to be baking the cake in, I already have it greased and floured, and I also have a little bit of baking powder in the bottom. Cocoa powder, not baking powder. I have a little bit of cocoa powder in the bottom. So now that we have that whipped up, we're going to put our eggs in one at a time. When you are baking, it's always best to have all of your ingredients at room temperature. So if you can't take them out the night before, try to take them out the morning prior, the morning of, but quite a bit early. So I get up for morning prayer around between 4 and 5 in the morning. So if I didn't take my ingredients out the night before, then I take them out, sit them on the counter. So by the time I'm ready to do whatever baking, whatever cooking, anything that I'm going to do that day, that I have all my ingredients out and they are ready. So now that we have our chocolate mixture done, what we're now going to do is add in our sourdough mixture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the mixer off. Again, this is our 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sourdough starter, and a cup of milk. So we have added that in. We're going to get our mix whipped up, and we're going to let it whip up for about 2 minutes on medium speed. You don't have to put this recipe on high speed, but again, you want it to be on medium speed while you have everything mixed together. And you want everything pretty much to be nice and combined. Again, when you first begin to mix, it looks a little funny, but as you can see, it's starting to come together. We're going to stop it for a minute, and we're going to scrape down our sides, because we want to make sure everything is coming together. We don't want any streaks of white. And I'm just looking down to the bottom to make sure I don't have anything down there that needs to be mixed in. So we got everything pretty much mixed in. I'm gonna take my spatula and I'm gonna kind of go down under just to make sure there's nothing down in the center of the bowl. And then we're going to pour it into our pan and we're going to get it baked off for 40 minutes. Or until your toothpick comes out with no moist batter on it. Your oven may be a bit different from mine. I have a convection oven. So a lot of times my oven cooks a little bit faster than others. Let's make sure we get all of our batter out of the bowl. No batter left behind. This actually smells really good. So here's our cake before we place it into the oven. Again, our oven is on 350 degrees. We're going to place our cake in and we're going to set our timer for 40 minutes. We're going to get that baking and we're going to get all these dishes cleaned up. Guys, so we are back. And remember, we had our cake in for approximately 45 minutes in our oven. We took it out. It is now cooled. We made a quick icing using powdered sugar, butter, vanilla, and cream cheese. Got it all whipped up. It's so good. Nice and smooth. And we are just going to literally slather all of this goodness on this chocolate cake. Guys, I'm just super excited to be able to find different recipes that I can incorporate my sourdough starter. Simply because there are some who do not keep a lot of sourdough starter on hand, but I keep about a half of a mason jar on hand all the time, and I used to keep more, but I wasn't using it enough. So this time around, I decided to keep less so that I could actually have a chance to use it and not having to discard so much. Yeah, it smells so good. This is like a great recipe to be making when you're snowed in, or like now for us, we have so many weather delays, and this is my time of the season where I'm doing a lot of baking. I know that some people just came off of the holiday where they had done a ton of baking, and so they probably don't want to see another cake, pie, brownie, or even a quick candy. They don't want to see any of that in their kitchen. But for me, I love it. I am thankful that God blesses me with the time to be able to do this and the time to be able to bless others with the things that I create. So, of course, I'm one person. My husband does not like chocolate cake. So we'll say half of this will be going to my sister's doctor's office. So they're closed today during the storm, but I will take half of this over there tomorrow and share it with them. But guys, that's what I love. God blessed me with talents, not only to be able to do the things that I love, but to be able to share them with others. For you guys, I get to share them through this camera, and I am able to bless others by the food that I'm able to give them. And this year, that is going to be the theme for my garden. So please stay tuned with all the renovations that we have going and all the things that we're doing, because I am seriously wanting to be able to do blessing baskets. My garden is not big enough to do what I want to do, which is kind of like a cooperative where I want to be able to sell baskets of produce, but that will come. But until then, I am going to work very hard to be able to bless others with the produce that I grow in my garden. So not only will I have those garden beds that I have out there, but soon I'm going to be bringing in about 3 or 4 green stalks so that I can grow vertically, because again, I want to be able to not have a cluttered area out there, but maximize every bit of space that I have so that I can grow as much as I can grow, so that I can share with others and be able to assist in feeding my family. So guys, We're going to taste this wonderful cake, and you guys stay tuned with me and all the things that I have coming up. And as always, continue to grow, grow, grow. Have faith in our food, and we'll see you the next time.